Now I'm going to have Derdrie give all her money to Sigurd, because she's not going to be needing it anymore. Now, this chapter begins quite differently to the previous two, in that you're basically forced to go on defense from the beginning because you'll be facing attacks from all sides. So you need to split up a bit, but I'd recommend most of your attention focuses on the center, and you should put as many mounted characters there as you possibly can. Yeah, setting the foot users off to the sides is good, but make sure you have a healer who can go around the side areas, because otherwise, yeah, if someone gets damaged down there, won't be good. So as you'll see there, you've got some armoured knights coming in from the right-hand side, some lance knights from the left, and bow knights and more armoured knights from the top, which is, yeah, why you should prioritise the middle area. Of course, Azel's perfect to take on those armoured knights. Sending in Lex, just because he makes a good lure. Mid-ale for range. And yeah, I'll send Finn up to the other side. Now, also something interesting that occurs right at the beginning of this chapter. Make sure you have Ira leave, because she's about to get one of the best swords in the game. Either Holyn or Lex can do this conversation. Both are pretty good and frequently recommended pairings, so you really have little excuse not to get this item. That's a good line. The hero sword is, of course, a lot like the hero lance and axe that you've previously received, but it stands out a lot more because it's just been given to somebody who not only has extremely high speed, but also Astra. In fact, this means Ira can actually do a potential 10 attacks in a single round of combat. Not to mention it has very high accuracy as well. So, she's pretty much crossed the line into broken territory. In fact, she's practically guaranteed to one-round KO most regular enemies all the time, except for the really, really powerful bosses, but yeah. Now, I'm putting Fury next to Levin because she needs a boost to love points with him just to get her ahead of Sylvia. You'll at least want her to, you know, get ahead of Sylvia before Chapter 4. If that happens, then you're pretty much safe, because, as I said before, they have that instant love conversation. Now, I tried to keep them close enough so that they get ahead of Sylvia, but not so close as they fall in love before that conversation, because, yeah, I wanted to show it in this playthrough. Problem is, I will say, since I've actually recorded all of Chapter 4 already, they actually fell in love a few turns before the conversation can occur, so I'm not going to be able to show it. Which is unfortunate, but anyway. That Iron Cutter of Beowulf is really going to come in handy against those armoured guys. And I'm putting her next to Lachesis, you know, for the love bows. Now, another great thing about Lachesis is, of course, her Charisma skill gives a 10% accuracy and evasion boost to everyone within a 3-square radius. Now, something I like to do is I like to combine this with Sigurd's leadership radius. So you put Sigurd and Lachesis around the centre of your main battle formation, and yeah, the characters will be getting a boost from charisma and Sigurd's leadership, which I think makes for a pretty effective combination. Unfortunately, Sigurd's leadership is only 2 stars. The main character of the second generation has can have 3-star leadership, but that's actually the best you'll ever benefit from, unfortunately. Enemies, on the other hand, will get 5-star benefits, occasionally, and those points are really annoying. One of them is actually going to happen in this very chapter, but... well, we'll find out later. Oh crap, these guys have javelins. Gotta be really careful of Sylvia here. I put her there just to get some extra experience for people like Azel and Midale, but... yeah, I've had her succumb to stray javelins a couple of times over the playthrough. Later on, she gets something that'll improve her in that defensive area a bit. Now, of course, these pirates don't move too quickly, but once they get to the villages, you'll want to rush to save them. But it's actually best to rescue the villagers, but don't enter them immediately. The reason for that is, in this chapter especially, it's very important who gets the villagers, because some of them, rather than items, give actual stat bonuses. Of course, these can't be traded between characters, so you really need to plan out who gets them. And as you might have noticed, something I failed to mention at the beginning of this part, there is a group of mages in the woods heading towards you. Of course, they're much less threat than the other groups, because they'll... yeah, the mage's slow movement rate combined with the terrain penalty means they're not going to be getting to your castle, but if they do, they could cause serious problems for your non-magic users. Heck, Lecter's so good he literally gets no experience at all for doing that. Anyway, I like to send Levin and Fury up to deal with them. Now, be careful where I put Azel. Don't want him to get attacked. Yeah, these normally aren't as much trouble as I'm making them. I just like to get experience for these people. Now this might look like a risky move, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and position these two so that Sylvia can't get attacked. Or if she can, only by one enemy. Sylvia can handle getting attacked by one person, usually. Probably not that Silver Lance, though. His speed's actually not that bad, but axes kind of ruin that. Yeah, see, now that guy can't get to Sylvia. Which is an advantage of having a tank like Lex being mounted. He can go out, attack someone, then move back to a defensive position. Yeah, they like to spread themselves out in the line for some reason. Now, of course, this is going to be a bit of a problem, because if those guys attack us and then the archers start shooting at us, and of course they're mounted archers, which means that they can shoot and then run, which gets really irritating, and that's why I recommended putting mounted characters. Oh crap. Okay, that was stupid. If you're playing this game, don't do that. That, again, was when a lock-in all attack ranges button would be very, very useful. Wanted Azel to get rid of that guy, but, well, it was a bit of an emergency. Some people like to sell Lachesis' prayer sword to Sylvia just to make her a bit more survivable. Interestingly, the pirates get a separate enemy phase theme. Yeah, they're very slow, so you don't need to worry about some of the villagers.